long you been wrestling?
5 years. Started in 8th grade.
Dang.
Chris, what do you think? 5 years.
Oh, my bad.
Even, what you gonna do with that, man?
I didn't expect that one.
Ready.
Oh, a sneak attack.
Sneak attack. Now,
Yeah,
you
I
probably
guess.
had a sneak, Aiden.
On the
Yeah.
mat. Yeah, on the mat, he probably would have.
So here we go. Since you snuck
Yeah.
him, you can show us a move, Aiden.
So,
See what you
I
got.
probably done something totally wrong. I
Right.
dipped my head down.
Yeah, you don't want to dip your head.
Yeah, see,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
And he probably would have.
So I'm gonna be the ref now. You go ahead and toss a little bit. Let's see what we
I was
got.
going to grab. Oh!
Okay. Don't hurt it.
Yeah.
Don't hurt it.
He's a
That
big
was
man.
pretty strong.
All right, Aiden, we're gonna go ahead to the podcast, man. You ready for the podcast?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever been into a podcast?
No, sir, I've not.
Hey, we got you here, man. Have a seat right here.
It's in the middle.
Yes, sir. That's your spot there. Good. This is Christopher Hunter, and my name is Lee Hughes with TNG Sports and Fitness. We're here with Outside the Line Podcast. We have a special guest, our first time having a wrestler on the podcast, so it's a big thing for us, right? So today we have Mr. Aiden
Lipford. Yes, sir.
Lipford. He's from Jones County High School, and he's gonna bless us on the podcast today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What do you have? You have anything for us, Chris?
Yeah, it's funny. I asked him about I guess she was the attendance manager or something at Jones County High School, Miss Bateman. Shout out to Miss Bateman.
Shout out to Miss Bateman.
Yeah. But yeah, we're glad to have you out here today, Aiden.
Thank you.
It's gonna normally the podcast is just to get to know you as a person, you know. But both of us are probably interested in kind of some of the wrestling because, like you said, we never had a wrestler. We don't like wrestling's not really in the forte of kind of our history of of athletics and stuff. So it's pretty interesting learning about it. Obviously, UFC and other mixed martial arts introduces us to wrestling a lot, you know, just because a lot of them have that background.
Exactly.
So I'm interested in hearing about some of your exploits on the mat.
And also keep in mind that this is Outside the Line. So Outside the Line basically talks outside the lines of wrestling. So in other words, we might dig a little deeper. We might talk about family. We'll talk about school. We'll talk about your little girlfriends. You know, I saw you went to the prom, so we're going to definitely talk about that. So
This award-winning mullet you got.
I love it, man. I love it.
I'm gonna bring back the mullet. Rhonda wants me to bring back a little.
Bring back the mullet.
Back. But some of these mullets nowadays, man.
They're nice.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
So Aiden, tell us about yourself, man. Give us a name. Tell us where you're from, what school you go to. You can even tell us about your parents a little bit. Just give us a little snippet of who Aiden is and bless us on the podcast a little bit.
My name is Aiden Lipford. I'm a senior at Jones County High School. I've been wrestling for about 5 years. I don't know. That's pretty much what I do in my free time. I play a little bit of guitar, play a little bit of bass. Was in a band at one time.
What's up with that?
Page.
What's up? Maybe I can learn some things.
Yeah, I hadn't played that in a little while. I do a lot of things. I like to get myself involved.
Yeah. I like that. So 5 years.
Yes, sir.
So there's 4 years. So you started in the 8th grade.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How did the 8th grade transfer from the 8th to a senior? Now I'm sure you're better, you're stronger, you're faster, you're quicker. You know how to actually do some little fancy moves. You know, I don't know wrestling. Chris knows a little bit more wrestling than I, but I'm like a little podcast guy that try to get the best athletes, and that's what we consider you one of our best athletes. So tell us about the transition from 8th grade all the way through senior to be a senior.
Okay,
just the difference.
Biggest thing is 8th grade was COVID year, so that really messed up a lot of stuff. That was the year that they took the 2 weeks out of school, and they're like, "We'll come back in 2 weeks," and then I'm not coming back for rest of the year until, well, I don't even know when it was.
Right.
August, September maybe.
Right.
But it's a big transition academically, I'd say, and definitely athletically. I wasn't very good my 8th grade year. I ended up losing every match but my last match, and that's what made me keep going.
Hey, that'll do it.
I got an interest. Like you're not supposed to do this, but I got something to relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I started playing tennis the COVID year, the end of 2018.
That COVID year was serious.
My first season, I had never played tennis. First season of league, lost every match.
Wow. Did you have COVID?
No, I didn't have COVID. But yeah, so that's funny you said and it kept me like that. Losing a lot of people drop out.
Yeah.
You know, like
But
front runners.
he decided to push a little deeper. He lost. He won that last match. Lost how many matches? You know, in the 8th grade.
Oof, I don't know. Probably
6, 10, 15. How many
probably
matches?
about 15, something like that.
15 matches.
10, 15, something
Then
like
all
that.
of a sudden, the 16th match, you pushed through. And so, what did you do over the summer in 9th grade, going into the 9th grade, 10th, 11th, 12th grade to get you there?
I don't think I did that much over the summer. So we had a coaching change between my 9th and 10th grade year, and my 8th and 9th grade year. Our school was not a very good wrestling school at all. We were like pretty much just like, you might get an athlete who's like pretty athletic, but he doesn't know very much.
Sure.
That was the stereotype of Jones County back then.
Baseball.
Yep.
Baseball, football guys.
And so I didn't do very much over 8th grade, but 9th grade, so I went through 9th grade, I wrestled, and I ended up, so we had a pretty old school coach back then.
Sure.
And so the thing with the old school coaches is right before the postseason, when you go individual where you see your state champs and all stuff like that, before that you have a wrestle off on your team. And generally speaking, better coaches won't leave it up to one split wrestle off. They'll make you wrestle off a bunch of times.
Right.
He did it once. Ended up losing my wrestle off and couldn't
man.
wrestle in the region tournament, even though the person who ended up going went 0-2, actually. I'm pretty sure.
He should have even been there.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Yeah. Wow. So did you go to the coach and say, "Hey, what's up, man? Can I go back? Can I get back in there?"
I didn't really argue with it.
Yeah.
That's after that. It was when I ended up getting really involved in club wrestling, and so that's when I started going to Storm. It's out in Perry. It's pretty good wrestling training center.
Okay, so we need to definitely talk about Storm a little bit there. So now you're in 12th. You're a senior.
Yes, sir.
And now, tell us the difference between. Just think about your 8th grade year. You lost all those matches, and you ended up winning one. And now you're a senior. I'm hearing that you won over 130 matches.
Around there,
by now, around 120 to 130.
School or all around?
Just school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So tell us the difference. Now you're a senior.
Yes, sir.
How are you feeling about that?
It's a big thing, just mat exposure, I'd say. Just like getting involved with the sport, understanding the sport a lot. Because when you're newer to the sport, you don't really understand, like, it's not second nature to you. You're thinking about everything you do. So just being able to just go blank and, like, just do whatever. Fluidity. And a lot of it's off the mat, too. Just being the same person on and off the mat. Being a outstanding person on and off the mat. In the classroom, to random people you see walking by, to opponents you just beat, to opponents you just lost to.
Wow.
Respect.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what do you think, Chris, about?
That's a good attribute.
Yeah. Just you just admonish the guy, and all of a sudden he want to talk to you. Like how does that work? You just slam me on my head.
Yeah.
And,
I think that does separate like the kind of professional mindset versus the I'm trying to out here like prove something kind of mindset. Like most elite anything they have to have a professional mindset.
Exactly.
Like you because if it's just to like your, I guess, what is it, reputation that you carry with you instead of being professional about it, you kind of you end up washing yourself out,
Exactly.
Because you make excuses for everything. I mean, that's the kind of like the light wasn't right, the mat was too hard, the ref was slow, all these kind of things. I would imagine.
Exactly. Yeah, you kind of get rid of the excuses.
And you don't flip that on and off. We've learned that over the years. You don't go over to the light and say, I'm going to have a professional mindset starting now. It's something like what he's talking about. You carry it in on the mat out of the mat, in the school, in the church, in the neighborhood. I mean,
so what did you get that from? Did you get that from your parents, your teacher? Was there any particular person that inspired you?
I'm not really sure. I guess just picking it up from role models, picking it up from coaching staff, things like that, and just trying to be a leader, pretty much.
I love it.
Since that was one of the things I was kind of wanting to, like, if you were to say, your role model doesn't have to be, I guess, wrestling, but because you are a wrestler, I kind of want to see who you historically, like people we would know. There's the Brock Lesnar's, the Kurt Angles, historically,
right,
that are world-class wrestlers,
So somebody you'd know?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Kurt Angle's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Awesome dude. Olympian.
Yeah.
Went in with a broken neck.
Yeah.
Wow.
They lit that guy up with lidocaine and he just wrestled. That was awesome.
So have you had any major injuries and you had to get back in there?
Not really. I mean, I've had some shoulder injuries here and there, but not too bad. Hopefully not. Let me not speak that into existence.
I know. So these snacks and stuff over here, they're not for us. They're for you. So if you decide to get some Skittles or maybe a protein bar, I know you got some guns there. So also that water there. So feel free to pop it open.
Okay.
But I want to talk about Jones County. Like Jones County High School. How have they impacted you and your family? Going into the senior year.
Well, I'll start with academics. Sure. Academics has been pretty good to me, I guess. Well, recently speaking, I kind of didn't really appreciate what I needed to do at my freshman and my sophomore year. I didn't do what I needed to do in the classroom. But my junior year, I decided I actually needed to do some work in the classroom. That's when that switch kind of flipped, that accountability switch. And just doing what I need to do in the classroom, getting stuff done, taking it day by day, things like that. And then as far as wrestling goes, it's been pretty good. We have an amazing coaching staff now. We went from 3rd, 4th in the region to competing against what's the runner-ups in our region. We have so we end up, our region is actually really, really tough. We have the toughest region in our sectional. And we have the number 2. So they were ranked number 1. They ended up taking 2nd in the state in terms of duels. And then we had what was ranked the number 5th team. And then so we ended up beating the number 5th team and wrestling in the state tournament up and taking 5th in the dual state tournament.
So let's stop right here. Dual. When you say dual, you're saying there's 2 teams.
Yes.
And then individual classes, weight classes that compete against each other. And the best of the best, is it like if you have 5 over here and 5 over here, if the 3 win here and 2 only win here, then the team win, or how does, or is it individual at some point?
So there's a lot of nuance to it, but pretty much you take your 14, there's 14 weight classes, 14 guys against 14 guys, and you can score between 3 and 6 points for your team. 3 is, say I beat you by 1, I barely beat you, you get 3 points for your team. If I beat you by more than 7 points, we'll get 4 points for my team. If I beat you, baseball, mercy rule in baseball, there's that in wrestling, 15. And so if you beat them by that, you get 5 points for your team. And if you pin them, you get 6.
Wow.
Now there's also stuff like forfeits and injuries and stuff like that. That counts as 6 as well.
Exactly. Wow. And so which particular team was this that you had that?
Locust Grove.
Locust Grove.
Yes.
That's up the road, ain't it?
Yeah.
Wow, those boys are pretty tough.
They were pretty tough. They got
until you guys came through.
Yeah. Well, so it was actually pretty cool. My sophomore year, it was a really big deal that we beat them because they had just lit us up before. Early in the year, we hosted a tournament called the Gauntlet in Gray, and they had beat us some by like 30 points, 30, 40 points, something like that, something ridiculous. And so we end up, that was in November, we end up, come January, beating them by like 8 or something like that in the region tournament to go to the Elite 8 duels.
Wow. That's what's up.
Pretty awesome.
That's crazy, man. That's
so
crazy.
Here's another wrestling. This is we're cheesing out on the wrestling part of it, the sport part of it. But is it? Do you probably face similar guy, like the same guy often? Like how is it like if that guy is just a class above you, does it ever turn around, or how does that work out?
Well, so I mean, anybody. So wrestling is the only sport where there's an automatic win button, and that's a pin. You pin somebody, it doesn't matter if they're a 3-time national champion. They're pinned.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And what I'd like to do is I'd approach it one point at a time. So say whatever position you're in, score the next point from there, and just let the match take care of itself.
Right.
That's what's up, man.
So it's really like I saw this little academic piggyback, but you was an aspiring engineer, you know, after you may go to Andrew.
Yes, sir.
And so I guess on the mat, you're having to engineer these points to win a match, you know? Like,
right.
So that, because you, just hearing you talk about it, it's like you're in the middle of the match. You may have lost a point here, but you got to gain points going forward. Yeah, so that's...
Most of it's just not paying attention to the scoreboard, just scoring the next point. It doesn't matter if you're up by 15 or down, or up by 14 or down by 14. Just scoring the next point.
Wow.
Never know what can happen.
So Chris spoke on Andrew College. So have you visited Andrew?
I have visited.
Okay.
So Andrew College is a junior college in Cuthbert, Georgia.
Okay.
It is soon to be this is going to be the first year that they have wrestling this upcoming year.
Really?
So they got a new president, and they added football. They added like, I think it was like 7 or 8 sports.
Wow.
Something like that. And wrestling was one of them. So I mentioned Storm.
Yes.
The coach from there, the coach at Andrew College.
Yeah.
He went to Storm, and he trained at Storm for a while.
Okay.
So that might be one of the things that got me in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went up there, visited there with a teammate. He ended up not wanting to go. He didn't want to go to college.
Right.
Want to get into trades, but went up there. We visited. Figured it was a good place for me. It was in Georgia. I keep my academic scholarships.
Exactly. So Andrew College, man. I've heard some stuff about Andrew College. Never been there or anything like that, but a few softball. I'm sure they got a softball crew there. So hey, look for exciting things at Andrew.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna follow you all the way, man. So it's not over after this podcast.
All right.
Yeah.
Right? It's not over. But just a little bit outside the lines. We just met your parents. Your dad seems super nice. I know your mom, she's very nice. We've kind of been texting back and forth. And then I said, hold on, wait a minute. Let me get Aiden's number so I can go back and forth with him. And so the text and pictures came a little bit more fluent because Aiden, he's kind of frequent on his phone, I'm sure, versus mom. So tell us what family mean to you, your parents mean to you, and stuff like that. And how they inspired you, not only in wrestling, but throughout life.
Well, to begin with, I think the reason I joined wrestling is probably because of my dad. My dad was he boxed back in the day. And so I got a little into
You boxed a little bit?
I've never trained.
No, okay.
But I'm sure I could hold my
You
own.
can put the gloves on. You can put the gloves on.
You can knock a sucker.
You can knock somebody out.
Anyways, so I got into watching MMA a little bit, and wrestlers actually something like 60-something% of UFC champions were wrestlers.
Oh.
And so I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I might want to do this. Ended up talking to the middle school coach, joined wrestling.
Sure.
Got into that, so that was pretty awesome in terms of family. Awesome support. I wouldn't be able to go to a club if it wasn't for my family driving out there.
Yeah.
45 minutes to Perry every time I want to go to practice.
Oh, so that's in Perry. Wow, that is a ride for you. You're in Jones County, right, all the way to Perry. That's another 15 minutes away from here. It was, 30 minutes to get here.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was a good little ride. We appreciate you coming out.
Oh, that's all right. I like it.
So your sister and your mom, and tell us a little about your sister. You have any more siblings, or just one? Was that your sister there?
Yes.
No?
So I have a brother who is 2 years younger than me.
Okay.
I have a sister. She's 10, and then I have a baby sister. She's almost 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. You be babysitting, man.
A little bit, yeah. Pretty much.
Big brother.
I just saw her.
How I feel to be a big brother, man.
I mean,
Come on, man.
I guess it's
I
all
saw
right.
a TikTok about babysitting. It said, "This is me babysitting," and it was the guy. The baby was crying.
Right. Wow, that's crazy, man. Storm.
That's me babysitting. I'm just, as the baby.
This man is crazy. So tell us about Storm, man. I mean, it sounds like Storm put you on the map, man. Tell us everything about it. Tell us about your coaches, the location. Maybe we can get some new wrestlers there.
Oh, so it's awesome. I'm by no means the best person in that room. It is an amazing room.
Really?
Actually, I went yesterday, and I trained with a future teammate who's also going to be at Andrew College. He goes to Lee County High School.
Okay, wow. So they travel pretty far to go to Storm.
Oh, some people travel 2.5 hours to go to Storm.
Wow.
They're big. They have, I think in the room yesterday was 2 nationally ranked kids.
Wow.
2 or 3.
So you're in a good spot.
Yeah.
You're in a good spot. Everybody's going to college from Storm.
Iron sharpens iron.
Yep.
There you go.
I think they're both committed to Division I colleges.
Really? Wow.
One of which is ranked top 5 right now in the NCAA.
Oh, wow. And so you're thinking, after the junior college at Andrew, you're thinking about moving on to possibly Georgia Tech or?
Georgia Tech, that's what I've got my eyes on.
Engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I play tennis with, like, there's a they must, Houston County must promote that field because several, like 6 of the guys I play tennis with all went to Georgia Tech and are all double E
Really?
engineer. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
And they still live here in Macon.
And
Houston County, this area, middle Georgia.
I think the big thing about Georgia Tech is they're really looking for leaders and not just like someone who can just pump out the academics. They're looking for an all-around individual, and
Right.
I think that's the reason you find a lot of awesome athletes and awesome people, awesome leaders, awesome religious leaders up there.
Yeah.
And so, just the thought of you, evidently you consider yourself a leader. Evidently he considers himself the right person to go to Georgia Tech. And so that's why we kind of knew Aiden would be a great fit for the podcast. Because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for amazing athletes that come on the podcast and not only do it in between the lines, but outside the lines. So if you can be a leader, once you get to Georgia Tech and become an engineer, just to think about all the amazing things you can do beyond college. So, by the time you turn 26, 27 years old, your life is just starting. So you're still considered a baby right now.
Yeah.
So that's going to be amazing. I think we had one softball girl to go to Georgia Tech, Caroline.
Yeah, from Tatnall.
Yeah, she got I don't know, Caroline Patterson.
I'm not sure. I might have heard of her.
Yeah, she got a D1 scholarship. She got that scholarship, full ride.
That's awesome.
Yeah, to play softball. She's amazing, man. She's pretty amazing. So we talked about your dad. You talked about your mom. What about your friends? How your friends helping you succeed? Also, tell us a little bit more about Jones County, the community, and the high school, if you can.
Okay. Well, I mean, so any public high school, you can easily get involved with the wrong crowd. I think it's important to stay away from the wrong crowd. Put yourself around the right people with the right mindset with similar goals to yourself.
Exactly.
That helps you. Because, I mean, if you're the best person in the room, everybody else is going to drag you down. You want to be working with somebody, working towards somebody.
Exactly. Working with those leaders. That's awesome, man. So we do have Skittles, and Chris mentioned M&Ms earlier. So why don't you give him the little test, Chris? What is, since we're outside the line?
So are you this is going to be some rapid fire questions. Are you a Apple or Android person?
I've got Apple.
You got an Apple?
Yes, sir.
But does that make you an Apple person, though? Like, is it a... But it's okay, Apple. Do you like... do you eat cereal?
I do eat cereal sometimes.
Okay.
Not the best thing for you, but yeah.
Fruit Loops or Cheerios?
Probably Fruit Loops.
Got to get that flavor.
McDonald's or Wendy's?
Wendy's. I don't like McDonald's.
Come
I hate
on
the
now.
onions.
You don't like the fries?
No, I love the fries. Hate the onions.
Gotta love McDonald's fries, man.
Chick-fil-A or Zaxby's?
Probably Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
I like Chick-fil-A. I think Zaxby's is overrated, in my opinion.
Me too. I'm with you.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So, UFC or boxing?
UFC.
All day.
Okay. I kind of teed it up.
You kind of teed that one out for you. So, Chris, you got that new phone there. It's a Pixel.
Google Pixel 8.
Google Pixel 8.
Yeah.
What do you think about that phone,
I'm
man?
really liking the Google Pixel 8.
I'm very close to getting that.
Yeah, it's so for the price point,
Right.
it hits it checks all the boxes for me. You know, other than that, it's just a phone.
Yep. So I'm gonna brag a little bit. I just purchased the S24 Ultra, super nice phone. Got a lot of nice feature, a lot of AI stuff on that phone. iPhone. So you have the latest and the greatest, or you just?
I didn't for a while, but I got one for Christmas.
Okay.
I got a 15 Pro for Christmas.
Oh, that's the latest and the greatest.
I like Beats. I like AirPods. I think that's the big thing. Just compatibility. It's really up to preference. All the phones are pretty much the same now.
Man, you know it.
What's do you have a certain genre of music that you kind of go to, like your go-to relax? All athletes, especially like wrestlers, they try to get into the zone. Is there a go-to genre of music or group that you
Okay,
like to listen to?
for anything wrestling or athletic related, I like some like I guess new metal-ish stuff like Korn and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
I like that. I listen to literally everything because I mean I'm a musician, so I do like all forms of music, anything that takes talent, pretty much.
So the singer, was it the singer for Korn? He's now a Christian.
I think so.
Yeah, like he
Flip
was
a
like,
switch.
Yeah. I used to love Korn.
Yeah.
That pre-Christian.
Right. Exactly.
You know,
So you don't dig him now, huh?
Well, no, I just
No, I was
don't
just
listen.
kidding.
I hadn't really. So of course I'm more of a relaxed music kind of guy. I do get into some of the nostalgic, back in the day music.
Exactly.
But I kind of that was part of that
was
life.
your thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I kind of veer away from that a little bit now.
Right.
Even though I still
no doubt.
the flavor of the music still.
We know
nice.
you like that Marley, man. We know you like that. Well, Jamin.
Yeah, I'm all genres of reggae, all branches of reggae I like. I like dance hall. I like the classics, Dennis Brown, the dance hall, the Buju Banton, all him, everything.
Exactly.
And those are just commercial people.
Right.
Once you get into it, there's all these, off the market folks that are real
The
good.
underground world.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, go ahead, Chris. You was gonna say?
Well, I was just. It is February. And we just lost a famous black actor today, as a matter of fact, and it's kind of closely related to sports. He was a pro football player. I'm sure he done other sports growing up, but his signature role was Apollo Creed.
Apollo Creed, the
Carl
great
Weathers.
Carl Weathers.
Yeah, so we just want to recognize him, in this month.
Black History Month.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know about your music. He said, I am a musician. So you played the bass.
Right? I was mainly guitar, but I do have a bass. I have a 5-string Ibanez.
So I have an Ibanez. It's a 4-string, right? I'm just starting to learn how to play it a little bit. So maybe you can teach me a little bit. But as far as a guitar, what do you have? Did you have a Fender or what?
Yeah, it's a Fender. What is it?
Roadster, Coaster.
Stratocaster.
Okay. No, it's not a Strat. It's a Jaguar. There you go.
Jaguar.
It's a 75 Jaguar, I think.
So you play pretty good or what?
Yeah, when I have practice. I haven't played in like 2 or 3 months.
Okay, that's not bad. You have a little band, or do you guys get together? You got a little crew?
So school and athletics and stuff kind of got in the way of that, but they are now. What is it? It is Buster Chrome. There you go. You look them up on Spotify. You look them up on Apple Music. You look them up on YouTube. You'll find them.
Buster Chrome.
Buster Chrome.
They
have a single out right now?
Bust Your Chrome.
No, Buster
Chrome.
Like Chrome. The name Buster.
Buster Chrome.
The color Chrome.
Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster Chrome. Buster
It's funny, music though, because like Lee didn't know this until I told him about a month ago. I ended up getting for Christmas an electronic drum set. Yeah. So
it's
him
nice
and I
too.
are gonna do some type of duet.
Yeah, we gonna go to the go sit on the corner somewhere and play some music, man. Have a little great time. I tell you what, I saw some nice videos of yourself that I'm gonna make sure everybody get to see, and so we're gonna take a break right now. All right,
Okay.
but I'm also sending them to that video right about now.
Well, that video really highlights you as an athlete and who you are as, on the mat. It's just good to have finally gotten a wrestler. You know,
Yeah, I
on the
know, right?
podcast.
Yeah.
We're becoming more of a diverse podcast.
Podcast, exactly.
That's good.
You know, I think we've been pretty diverse. We had DKO and Max.
Yeah, he's a rapper.
Yeah. You know,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
We kind of met him from baseball, though.
Yeah. He had a cheerleader.
Yeah, cheerleader. Then we have had all around, like one girl, she was an all around. She done everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's always good.
Yes.
Hey, that's what looks good to colleges right there.
Yeah. Yeah. She did what? Flag football, softball, basketball, everything. A couple more other things.
I'm glad the flag football's taking off.
I am too.
I mean, I was kind of like, what is this? But then, like, after going to some games,
right,
it's pretty good.
So Pro Bowl is flag football now, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? You watching football? What do you do about football?
Not really. I appreciate athleticism and all.
Exactly.
And all attributes, but don't really watch it that much.
Okay, that's understandable. And so they're doing flag football instead of tackling each other during this time. So I think it brings the family a little bit closer. It gets the kids on the field a little bit more. And they're pulling the flags versus beating each other up in a game that they really don't have to be
less than an exhibition game.
Exactly.
It's less than it's terrible.
And so I think we talked about earlier, here at T&G Sports and Fitness, some of the things that I do, train baseball players, basketball players, football. Definitely looking forward to training a wrestler. And we create leaders around here. And I know that what I'm finding out, that you're a true leader. What inspired you to really get into just taking over and becoming a leader on your team and in school?
Like what drives me to it? I don't know. I guess wanting to be great, wanting to be a good person, wanting to be a good father figure in the future.
I love
raise my kids well. Eventually, if I end up coaching a club team or if I end up coaching high school or anything like that, be able to create some good people.
Yeah.
Because I mean, with wrestling, it's not quite like other sports. I mean, obviously, like you won't have everybody go to the league and NFL, stuff like that, but there's no promise of that in wrestling. There actually isn't even that. You have to be literally the best person in the United States to do anything like that. So you're really looking to create a good person, something that will stick with them for the rest of their life. That's not just the actual wrestling, the double legs, the takedowns.
I mean, that's a tough mindset. That's a leadership mindset. That's someone that want to really take control of their life and others' life, and lead them in the right direction. How did you get that mindset? Something had to happen, or you had, I know you got great parents and you have great coaches, but what really put you there? What, as far as the mindset?
Exposure, probably. Exposure to people who had similar mindsets. Seeing people work harder than me for it, and that I don't like that.
I like that. So if someone's working actually hard and you're like, wait a minute. Something's not right. I need to go back into the lab a little bit more. And so that goes into I'm gonna let you slide in there, Chris. That goes into your regimen. What is your training like? How do you train to make sure you stay above the leaders? With the leaders.
In terms of actual physical training.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I guess a lot of live wrestling,
Mhm.
a lot of actually like positions and stuff like that, making every rep count.
Right.
So like if you're drilling high crotches or double legs or something like that, your takedowns, making sure you put everything you have into each rep possible and keeping good pace, not stopping to talk, not stopping to chat, anything like that. Just constant motion. And then as far as conditioning goes, just beating yourself. Don't worry about beating other people. Beat yourself.
So, Chris, one more time, Chris. He giving me these little nuggets, Chris. So that reminds me of wherever you are, be there. You know, so I have one of my favorite sayings. Actually, my actual favorite saying is wherever you are, be there. And so you're telling me when you're training, when you're in the gym, or when you're working out, you're there. You're not on your phone. You're not chit-chatting or anything like that. You're there training to be the best. And so one of my favorite sayings is wherever you are, be there. So if you're here on the podcast, Outside the Line podcast, if you're wearing this nice purple Jones County Letterman's jacket, you wear it with pride. You know, you're just not here just to be here. You know, so wherever you are, be there.
Yep, I've heard be where your feet are.
Be where your feet are. It's pretty
like
simple
that.
as that. Yeah, pretty simple.
Take advantage of every opportunity in front of you right now.
Oh man, I love that, man.
Yeah,
that's nice.
It's always you know, I know probably the youth probably don't think they inspire older people, but we get inspired by you know, seeing athletes that are not only, like you said, good athletes, because we've run into people that should have been Pro Bowlers somewhere, but they just are horrible people.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Or not even to go to that extreme, but just not.
Yeah,
You know, they'd rather be on the you know, on the street corner,
Right.
you know, hanging out versus, and that's in the sports realm. But it shows up everywhere else too. You know, like that kind of, I guess, I guess there is a time and a place to relax. But when we're talking about doing things, you know what I'm saying, you should be in the moment. Like, I bet you anything that people separate themselves when in y'all's practice. You can tell the ones that
tell the best of the best
are trying to do something, and then the ones that are just there to, you know, just kind of hang out.
Yeah, we're at Storm.
No, I don't want to practice with you.
Right, exactly.
I'm good today, Aiden.
I'm good
gonna
today.
go over here.
right, exactly.
Hey, but look, what happens with that is that might be the case for a little bit, but if you're a good leader, you will spread to other people. You will influence other people, and so if you see this one group, they're going crazy pace, and the next group over, they might be like, "Dang, they're going tough. I need to go tough too," and then so it ends up picking up. So like we have first years who just you can just see little things that they do, just similar to what leaders do, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, that is.
That can also be a really bad thing if you aren't a good leader.
Right.
It can be a very, very bad thing if you're if you're not putting the right things into your body, if you're doing stuff you aren't supposed to, be in the bathrooms doing stuff you're not supposed to.
Right, exactly.
It can be a bad influence on young people.
Love that, Aiden. I can keep looking at this photo here. We have a nice photo for you. We'll hold it up show the camera there. That's Mr. Aiden. Where is that located? That's at the gym. You're just Jones County, or where is that?
This is Jeff Davis. This is the duels tournament I was talking about.
That's the duel. Okay.
This is versus Brunswick.
Okay.
They, I believe, at the time were ranked.
And this guy.
Yes, this is, what is his name? I cannot remember his name for the life of me. I had wrestled him before, and he beat the snot out of me. Oh my gosh! So I came in and I took him down.
Right.
And then I took him down. I probably almost turned him, and then he got an escape, and he just started. I don't know. I wasn't in the right mind. That's what kind of pushed me to get some of my mindset stuff there. But
exactly.
So this was in the finals, the duels finals.
Okay.
So it was for first place.
Sure.
And this team, whole time they were talking about beating us. And actually, funny thing, the coach from this team, Brunswick.
Right.
6A school.
Right. Oh.
Yeah. So most of the time in wrestling, you'll compete outside your classification.
Really?
You won't compete in it.
Does it count against you if you lose or anything like that?
Nope.
Or it stays on. Okay.
Doesn't really matter. The team records aren't really seeded like that.
Okay.
It's kind of a little different.
Sure.
So one of the coaches from there went to Pierce County, right? Mm-hmm. We wrestled Pierce County in the semifinals. Mm-hmm. And they were talking to the Brunswick coach. Mm-hmm. So he was talking to the coach he previously coached with and said, we should wrestle y'all soon. We just got to get through this Jones County team first. We ended up beating them by like 40-something.
Dang.
40? Oh my
So there's only 84 points you can score in a wrestling duel.
So that was a mindset thing. He was already somewhere else when he should have been.
He should have been there.
Yep.
Wherever you are, be there.
And so we ended up beating this team by, I think, like between 15 and 20, something like that.
Right. Okay. So, as we talked about earlier, we want to get you to sign this photo, okay? And we'll actually get you to walk it over. I'm going to get Chris to kind of add a little frame to it. And so we'll get our photographer to zoom in, come in. She'll pick her tripod up and come over here and kind of watch you actually sign this awesome picture here.
Okay.
You can go ahead and sign it whenever you're ready. Excellent. I love it. I love it. And so Chris will place it in, and then we'll get you to walk your own photo over to the Wall of Fame. There you go.
Awesome.
Walk it over.
Yeah, while we over here, who else do we have from Jones County? Anybody?
We got to spread the word, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, this kid right here.
Mm-hmm.
Ed the podcast he was in, he had gotten a call from the Clemson coach saying, "Hey, can you show up to the
next week?"
Yeah, to
the bowl game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. We were proud.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Good job, man. Good job.
Hey, kind of piggybacking on your mindset thing, it kind of instigated me thinking, you know, like I know me and Lee both listen to like leadership books and audio and videos and stuff. Who's some of the people you might listen to?
Okay, well, there actually is this company who does wrestling mindset, and they specialize in that, in wrestling specific mindset, and have talked to some of the greats.
Wow.
Some of the amazing NCAA wrestlers, some of the amazing world champion wrestlers, things like that. And they have some people on there they're literally called Wrestling Mindset.
Wow.
One where they have podcasts on, I believe everything. I believe all platforms, Spotify, stuff like that. And they also have, well, obviously they have the actual program that you can purchase, and you get like live video and stuff like that.
Wow. That's good stuff.
I might need to look into that.
Wrestler's Mindset.
So
Wrestling Mindset, yep.
Oh, wrestling.
Yeah,
mindset.
Wrestling Mindset.
Wrestling Mindset.
Yeah.
That's great, man. So remember, we're still here at Outside the Line Podcast.
Yep.
Okay, so we want to know what your drip is like, what you wear on a daily basis, man. We got the Jones County.
Representing that.
Yeah, representing.
Get some Carhartts on.
Got some Carhartts.
Got the most beat Jordan 1s you can find.
He loved those ones, boy. We how many pair of Jordan 1s we had in here, Chris? At least 3 or 4. They come in here.
Oh, that's what those are?
Those.
No, but so, I mean, if you're talking about like actual street wear.
Yeah, just what you wear on a daily basis, man. Or whenever you step out, when you trying to look good, what do you do?
I mean, I don't know. I kind of wrestle. Not wrestle. Keep saying that word.
Hey, you're
keep
wrestling.
dress kind of 2000s, I guess. Okay. Like early
That's
2000s.
That's 20. I don't even know. How old are you?
I was born in 2006.
So you bring it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, you like that. That's good.
But also, recently I got into buying, selling, and trading wrestling shoes. And so that's a really big thing.
This guy gonna be making some money.
Yeah.
Who thinks of that, Chris? I guess maybe wrestlers, I don't know.
Yeah, so there's a really big Instagram market. Let me show you something.
He's gonna have to show us this, man.
Like
send it to me. Send it to me,
stinky,
man, so I can.
Sweaty old stinky wrestling shoes.
Oh snap!
1995. Combat Speed 1s. When you saw somebody at a tournament of one of these,
wow,
they'd call them A kicking shoes.
Yeah.
Look at that, Chris.
Let's see.
Hey, kick your shoes.
Oh yeah.
You finna get beat down. You see those shoes,
Yeah.
Chris?
I'll send those to you.
Good stuff, baby. Wow. And so, you know, hey, I was all over your Instagram, your IG, and stuff like that. And I noticed that you went to the prom a couple years. Tell us about dressing up, you know, you and your prom date. How did it go for you? I guess you'll have one coming up soon. Will it be the same?
It will be the same person.
Will it be the same person? Okay, tell us about your lady and your prom date.
Her name's Kaylee. I've been dating her for, as of today, 20 months.
Months.
Almost 2 years.
That's good stuff.
Yep.
You know the months, Chris.
I mean, he's
I like that.
He's got
He's
a
got it.
certain mindset. We keep.
He know what he want.
But like, I guess that's how engineers think.
They
think with
it's
numbers.
about the numbers.
And
Yeah.
I'd have been like almost 2 years.
yeah.
He's like 20
A
months.
little minute.
He's thinking numbers
We've been dating for
for a little minute. So stepping out to the prom, being out there with all your friends and stuff like that. How important is that to kind of dress up and show your friends that, hey, I can look good and wrestle? You know, sometimes it means a lot to certain people. Sometimes it really doesn't mean anything. But how do you feel about that?
I mean, it meant a lot just like as an opportunity.
Sure.
As to not regret it later.
Sure.
I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, we didn't have that great of a prom, but, you know, hanging out with some friends, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no doubt. So this will be the third year with her. The
Second year.
Second, okay.
Third actual, like, calendar year,
Sure.
but 2 years in June.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, you guys, hey, y'all was looking good. They was outside, Chris.
Yeah.
I think I saw a little waterfall back behind them a little bit. Maybe some nice grass. Maybe they was in a park.
Yeah, somewhere in Macon.
It looked like Washington Park to me.
I don't remember. I don't remember where.
Yeah.
My aunt is a photographer. So.
She
So
took,
it might
took
have
those.
been,
She took some nice pictures.
Was it out on Riverside? Like it's this man's house? Like a lot of the prom people go to that place out there, Riverside, like going towards Juliet. It's you see like the little nice island in the middle of the pond.
Okay. Yeah.
I might have to check that out. I haven't seen that.
Yeah. I believe he was downtown. At Washington Park. It was nice, man.
It was pretty nice. Those pictures turned out really well.
Yeah.
She's pretty good at it.
Yeah. Had that nice pink fuchsia bow tie on. Looking good.
Thank you.
We're not gonna keep you all night. I mean, we could probably talk all night.
Oh, yeah.
We'll probably touch base with you in another day or so and probably get just some more information that we want to either add to the podcast, to the captions and stuff like that, because I know we missed some things. You know? Is there anything, Chris, you want to say before Mr. Aiden get out of here?
No, I enjoyed it. Like it's always heartwarming, I guess, when you get a teenager that carries a good conversation, and able to confidently, talk about himself and so, and I think, I'm saying it comes from good stock most of the time. And like he said, the inspiration part, it don't have to be good stock, but if you put yourself in good social circles, then you kind of, I guess, glean and kind of inspire each other, so it's like me being, like my daughter's grown now, but it's just kind of seeing that our future's in good hands, kind of deal. I always appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt. And for myself, I just want to thank you for coming on to Outside the Line podcast. I was blessed to have a friend of mine's to reach out to your mom and say, hey, and your mom's like, yeah, I want to get my son on that podcast. I think she saw a couple episodes of the podcast, and for you to actually get on the podcast and represent Jones County very well, represent Storm very well, and now he's headed to Andrew College, and they're I'm sure happy and pleased to get a great student with great academics, and who mess around and wrestle a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, he's won over 120, 25, 30 matches over the last few years. He has so many awards that we hadn't even talked about. But I just want to thank you for coming on to Outside the Line podcast. Is there anything you would like to leave us with? Anything that can inspire future wrestlers or students that may you can share this podcast with? Just anything.
Big thing is
you wanna share?
creating a standard and holding people to it, holding people to accountability, and making that a normal thing in your lives to be, I did that thing. Yeah, I own up to it. And creating like I said, a standard that people need to set for themselves, goals or aspirations, to make sure every day you're working towards that goal and not away from it.
Exactly.
Can I piggyback that with a little Black History moment here?
Sure.
The sentiment of what I just got from what he was saying reminds me of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He said that, and this was about Christians, he said that a lot of us Christians are being practical atheists because we have a high blood pressure of creeds and an anemia
of deeds.
So that's piggybacking. It's like we got to stop doing a lot of talking about stuff.
You got to be about it.
Yeah, be about it.
You got to be about it, man. So
setting a standard.
Setting the standard. So we're going to end it. We're going to shut it down.
Yeah. This
has been Outside the Line podcast with Lee Hughes and Mr. Christopher Hunter there. This is our main man, Aiden. Aiden Lipford. Thanks a lot for coming out. Enjoy. Peace out.